Today we are going to see the drugs for the treatment of leprosy, that is anti-leprotic drug. They treat leprosy condition. Leprosy is caused by Mycobacterium leprae. The drugs are anti-leprotic drugs. Once there was a time when ancient people used cholmogra oil for the treatment of leprosy. This cholmogra oil has a weak anti-leprotic activity. Now it has been replaced by many of the drugs. Let's see the classification of anti-leprotic drugs. The classification is like this. The first category in the classification is sulfur. As we have seen in sulfonamides, that is Dapsone. Second category is phenazine derivatives. The drugs in this category are clofazimine. The third category is anti-tubercular drugs. The drugs in this category are rifampin and ethionamide. Another category is other antibiotics. The drugs in this category are ofloxacin, moxifloxacin, and minocycline and clarithromycin, which means we have two from quinolones category, one from tetracycline category, and clarithromycin from macrolide category. Let's see each of them in detail. Dapsone. How they work? They inhibit the PABA incorporation into folic acid by folate synthesis. Since folic acid is required for the minimum activity by the bacteria for the growth and maintenance of the DNA. Since if folic acid will not be formed, then basically the cell will not survive and the bacterial cell will die. Dapsone has a similarity in structure with that of the PABA. As you know, the structure of Dapsone is this has quite similarity with that of the PABA. As the structure of PABA is H2 and H2. You can see the similarity between both of them. That's why it is quite useful drug for anti-leprosy. If we talk about the pharmacokinetics of this drug, the drug is given orally. It is 70% protein bound. T-half is greater than 24 hours. Elimination by metabolism in liver by glucuronidation, acetylation, and excretion within 1 to 2 weeks or longer. This cannot be given to the patient of HB less than 7 gram per dl and G6PD deficient person because this will produce hemolytic anemia. If we talk about the clofazimine, they interact by 3 mechanisms. First, they interfere with the template DNA of the microbe. Second, they alter the membrane structure. And its transport function. Third, they can alter the mitochondrial ETC chain. So what is ETC? Electron transport chain. If we talk about the pharmacokinetic of this drug is orally active, 40 to 70% absorbed, T half is greater than 70 days, and the drug gets accumulated in fats and tissues, due to which the resistance from this drug arises early. Within 1 to 3 years, resistance occurs. If we talk about the adverse effect of this drug, that is reddish, black coloration of skin, as well as there is dryness of skin, itching. That's why this drug is not given most commonly alone. This is given in a therapy of multi-drug therapy. The other GI symptoms are also observed by this drug, like nausea, vomiting, anorexia. Okay, rifampin. So how rifampin act? They inhibit the RNA synthesis by binding to beta subunit of mycobacterial DNA. This mycobacterial DNA dependent RNA polymerase is required for the synthesis of RNA. Since this would not be active, so the RNA synthesis will not take place and the bacterial cell will die. This is orally 70% bioavailable, excreted by urine, and the adverse effect is hepatitis and GI symptoms. If we talk about the plus point of this drug is they reduce the duration of treatment, as well as no resistance is seen till now, and it is seen that 99.99% mycobacteria has been killed by this drug within 3 to 7 days, and that too 600 mg per day dose. Now is the drug ethionamide. The mechanism action of this drug is very effective, that is they inhibit the mycolic acid synthesis. Since this does not take place, the bacterial cell dies. If we talk about the availability of this drug, so the drug is quite effective, but nearly 10% patients has seen the hepatitis. So this drug has been used as a interchange. The drug has been used as a replacement for clofazimine. But in nearly 10% patients, it has caused hepatitis. The dose of this drug which is used is 250 mg per day. This drug is also included in the category of multi-drug therapy. Ofloxacin and moxifloxacin both belong to the category of quinolones. Means they have same mechanism of action, that is they inhibit the DNA gyrase and topoisomerase 2. Since they inhibit both these enzymes, so the activity of DNA formation is stopped and the cell lysis occurs. These two drugs are also included in the multi-drug therapy drugs, and it is seen they are widely active and they inhibit the 99.9% bacilli. So the drug, both of them drugs are very equivalently useful. the dose is given to treat the patient is 400 mg per day. And it has seen the 22 daily doses of ofloxacin has been quite useful for the treatment of leprosy. If we talk about both of these drugs, that is tetracycline category and this is macrolide category. Means these are antibiotics. This inhibits the 30S ribosomal unit of DNA. And this inhibits the 50S ribosomal unit of DNA. So no protein synthesis in both the cases. This leads to the death of the bacterial cell. Both these drugs are quite effective. It has seen the use of both these drugs in a multi-drug therapy. And for clarithromycin, it is observed that 99.9% bacterial killing rate in within 8 weeks. The dose for this drug is 500 mg, that too daily. So clarithromycin has quite effect as compared to minocycline, and 9.9% killing of the bacteria has been observed. And for minocycline, it has observed that regular use for 8 weeks has been a treatment for the killing maximum of the bacteria. This was all about the anti-leprotic drugs and their treatment. Thank you for watching my video and don't forget to subscribe my channel and like my video.